All right, welcome back to another After Dark, everyone. I've got something very special. At least it's special for me. And I know my audience and I know where you guys stand. This should be special for you guys too. This is Michael Jordan's Hall of Fame enshrinement speech. Now, this is 100% going to get demonetized. I'm just hoping I don't get flagged, and I hope this video actually gets out. So in other words, I'm guaranteed not going to make a penny off of this. I just hope this actually gets out, and we can all enjoy this together. So I got me a glass of wine, kicking back and relaxing, and yeah, I've been wanting to do this a while, but I was like scared. But now that I understand YouTube a little bit, they'll warn me. So if I try this and they're basically they strike me, then I just have to get rid of it, and then all this that I'm saying right now, no one will ever hear. But hopefully I find a way to at least get this out. But there's one way to find out. Either way, I'm going to go through this and I'm going to watch it. So I hope we get to watch this together. All right, everybody. As always, I'm going to link the original video down below. You hear me, official Hoop? Hoop Hall? There you go. Got you a like. And I'm going to link it down below. Please don't strike me. Please, we're all basketball lovers here. All right. Yeah, let's do this. Let's do this.
Welcoming Michael is one of his basketball role models, the Hall of Famer known as Skywalker.
There's him and his mama.
1996, David Thompson. Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Jordan.
Notice the guy who's walking up with him, okay? It's going to play into it. There's Scotty, there's Tony, there's Steve Kerr, Rodman's in there, Isaiah's there. Stockton, Jerry Sloan. This was hard to watch. Okay, real quick. As one of the biggest Jordan fan I knew growing up was me. This is when I knew it was completely over, because I always knew he could still play, but I knew at this point, like, it was done. Like, it's time to say goodbye. This was hard.
Thank you.
And it was for him.
Thank you.
He didn't even get out a word yet, but he's already bursting in tears. Talk about loving the game.
I told all my friends I was going to come up here and say thank you and walk off. I can't. There's no way. I got so many people I can thank.
Man, before the hatred set in, man. Shit.
No way. I got so many people I can thank. In all the videos, you never just saw me. You saw Scottie Pippen.
There it is.
Every championship I won.
There it is. Anybody who says otherwise, this is all you got to do. Play 1 minute and 51 seconds of his enshrinement speech. He cries, and the very first things he says is he's giving credit to Scottie Pippen.
I've had a lot of questions over the last 4 weeks, and everybody's saying, well, why did you pick David Thompson? I know why. And David knows why. And maybe you guys don't know why, but...
Okay, so the guy who was walking him up, okay? This is so petty. This is so Jordan.
As I grew up in North Carolina, I was 11 years old, 1974, I think, when you guys won the championship. And I was an anti-Carolina guy. I hated UNC. And here I ended up at UNC. But I was in love with David Thompson. Not just for the game of basketball, but in terms of what he represented. You know, we all, as Vivian say, or said, we go through our trials and tribulations. And he did. And I was inspired by him. And when I called him and asked him to stand up for me, I know I shocked the shit out of him.
Yeah. You would have thought it was Magic Johnson, you know, because that's who the torch got passed on from. But nope, David Thompson.
I know I did. But he was very, very kind and said, yeah, I do it. And that wasn't a disrespect to any of my Carolina guys. They all know that I'm true blue Carolina guy to the heart. You know, Coach Smith, Larry Brown, Sam Perkins, James Worthy, you know.
Dean Smith. If you don't know, you don't know. But if you do, you do.
All of those guys. Well, it all starts with my parents. You guys see all the highlights. What is it about me that you guys don't know? As I sit up here and I watch all the other recipients stand up here and they give their history, and so many things I didn't know about Jerry Sloan. I know he lived on the farm, but I didn't know he was in a small classroom from first grade to the 8th grade. Even David Robinson, obviously I've known David for some time, and you know, I found some things out about him, and even with John, I found some bad things or good things about him, and even Viv, I've known Viv for years, and her and my father and my mom spent a lot of time on the Nike trips, and you know, I found out a lot of good things about her. But what about me that you guys don't know? I got two brothers, James and Larry.
Yep.
They're 5'4", 5'5" in height.
Wait, what did he say? Was it 5'5"?
5'5" in height.
5'5"? 5'4" and 5'5"? Damn.
They gave me all I could ever ask for as a brother in terms of competition. You know, you would think that, you know, my brother Larry is a ideal
Look at his mom. I'm sorry. I'm totally going to nerd out on this whole video, guys. Look at his mom. So proud. His father should be right there. But it's so wonderful. She's still alive. I saw them open up a Jordan family hospital very recently, within a couple of months ago. She's still kicking it, man. She's still doing it.
Where small things come in small packages. This dude fought me every single day.
Larry?
And to the extent that my mother used to come out and make us come in because we were fighting way too much. And my older brother was always gone. He served in the Army for 31 years.
Oh, yeah, I always forget about that. Respect.
And the competition didn't stop there. My sister, who's 1 year younger than me, Roz, never wanted to be home by herself. She took extra classes to graduate from high school with me, to go to University of North Carolina with me, and to graduate prior than me.
That's the brains of the household then. Yep.
And you guys sit and ask me where my competition or my competitive nature came from. It came from them.
Yep.
It came from my older sister. Who's not here today, and my father, who's not here today. Obviously, he's with us and all of us. I mean, my competitive nature has gone a long way from the first time I picked up any sport. Baseball, football, ran track, basketball, anything that missed class, I played it.
Yep. It starts out from a young age, doing stupid things. I could ride my bike faster. I can stay on my skateboard longer than you. You know, I could run to the stop sign faster than you. Yeah, the sibling relationship and the competitiveness is fantastic. I owe that a lot to my older brother, too. I owe a lot to him when it comes to this.
When you think about, so they started the fire in me. That fire started with my parents. And then, as I moved on in my career, people added wood to that fire. Coach Smith, what else can I say about him? He's a legendary in the game of coaching.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Whoa. Did I see who I think I saw? Hold on. Okay, no. Okay. Forgive me, you guys. It's the wine. I thought I saw Trae Young. That's not Trae Young. Moving on. Moving on.
And then there's Leroy Smith. Now, you guys think that's a myth. Leroy Smith was a guy, when I got cut, he made the team on the varsity team. And he's here tonight. He's still the same 6'7" guy. He's not any bigger. His game is about the same. But he started the whole process with me because when he made the team and I didn't, I wanted to prove not just to Leroy Smith, not just to myself, but to the coach who actually picked Leroy over me. I wanted to make sure you understood you made a mistake, dude.
And that's a lesson to all you young people out there still trying to make it in the world. When you experience heartache and disappointment, do not become a victim, okay? Do what Michael Jordan did. Come back stronger, make them regret their decision, okay? That's the way winning is done. Don't play a victim. Don't do it, man. Overcome. Yeah, there he is. He's like, what the hell? Why am I here? Look at him.
And then there's Buzz Peterson, my roommate. And now, when I first met Buzz, all I heard about was this kid from Asheville, North Carolina, who's player of the year. I'm thinking, well, he ain't never played against me yet. So how did he become player of the year? Is that some type of media, exposure? I came from Wilmington. We had two channels, channel ABC and channel NBC. That was it. I never saw NBA sports at all when I grew up. You didn't have CBS affiliation in North Carolina, in Wilmington. So Buzz Peterson became a dot on my board.
And before he goes any further, I got to ask for you guys in the comments. In Arizona, we had WGN. So we had the Chicago network, and I got to see all of these Bulls games growing up. I got to see Jordan's whole career. Thank you to WGN. Did you guys have that access wherever you guys grew up? Or was that just an Arizona thing? We had Cox Communications. Dimension Cable, I think it was what it was called before that. Yeah, let me know. I've always been curious. Like, was I just lucky? Was it just destined to be that I got to grow up watching all these Bulls games as a kid? So I got all the Suns games and all the Bulls games. I couldn't have asked for anything better. But that didn't happen with any other state. Like, as far as, I didn't get to watch the Indiana games or the Boston games. I got to watch the Bulls games and the Suns games. What a lucky man I am.
And when I got the chance to meet Buzz Peterson on the basketball court or in person, Buzz was a great person. It wasn't a fault of his. It was just my competitive nature. I didn't think he could beat me or he was better than me as a basketball player.
Fair.
And he became my roommate. And from that point on, he became a focal point, not knowingly. He didn't know it. But he did. And Coach Smith, the day that he was on the Sports Illustrated and he named 4 starters and he didn't name me, that burned me up. Because I thought I belonged on that Sports Illustrated. Now, he had his own vision about giving a freshman that exposure, and I totally understand that, but from a basketball
Look at his smile. I love it. I love this.
I deserve to be on that Sports Illustrated. And
he knows.
And it didn't stop there. My competitive nature went right into the pros. I get to the Bulls, which I was very proud that at the time Jerry Reinsdorf didn't own the team. It was another organization, and Rob Thorne drafted me.
Reinsdorf. Okay, so Reinsdorf was still alive. I think, was Jerry Krause dead at this point? Did he pass away? Damn, man. This is crazy going back and watching. All right, let me backpedal 5.
It was another organization, and Rob Thorne drafted me. Kevin Lockett was my first coach. Kevin used to take practices and put me in the starting 5. Mm-hmm. And he'd make it a competitive thing where the losing team have to run. So now I'm on the winning team, and halfway in the game, halfway in the situation, he would switch me to the losing team.
Doug Collins did this too, for your information.
So I take that as a competitive thing by you trying to test me.
Yep.
And by 9 times out of 10, the second team would come back and win no matter what he did. So I appreciate Kevin Lockett for giving me that challenge, providing that type of fire within me. He threw another log on that fire for me. Jerry Reinsdorf. I mean, what else can I say? The next year I come back, I broke my foot. I was out for 65 games. And when I came back, I wanted to play. He and the doctors, they came up with this whole theory that you can only play 7 minutes a game, but I'm practicing 2 hours a day. I'm saying, well, I don't agree with that math.
Did he say I'm practicing 2 hours a day?
I'm saying, well, I only play 7 minutes a game, but I'm practicing 2 hours a day.
Yeah.
I'm saying, well, I don't agree with that math. And back then, it was about whoever had the worst record get the most balls and the ping pong balls, and you can decide what pick you're gonna have. But I didn't care about that. I just wanted to win.
Yeah.
I wanted to make the playoffs. I wanted to keep that energy going in Chicago. So I had to go in his office and sit down with him. And I said, Jerry, I feel like I shouldn't play more than 14 minutes. I'm practicing 2 hours. He says, MJ, I think I have to protect the long term of investment that we've invested in you. And I said, Jerry, I really think I should be able to play. He said, let me ask you this. He said, if you had a headache, and at that time it was about 10% chance that I can re-injure my ankle or my foot. He says, if you have a headache and you got 10 tablets and one of them is coated with cyanide, would you take the Tylenol? And I looked at him, I said, how bad is the headache?
Yeah, I love it.
Depending on how bad the headache.
Look, Pippen knows.
Jerry looked at me and said, you okay? I guess that's a good answer. You can go back and play. He let me allow to go back and play.
And that's when they unleashed a dog. People like to shame him for it being his second year. Really, it was like 1 1/4 seasons. And he's playing the Pistons. I'm sorry, not the Pistons. The wine's setting in. The Celtics. And this would be in the 85-86 season, right? And he's going against one of the greatest teams of all time. In my opinion, the greatest Celtics team of all time. And they unleashed a wild animal. And that's when you see like the clips of like Jordan scoring 63. And then I think he scored like high 40s for the rest of the series. The guy was a beast. But people nowadays are shaming him like, oh, you lost. Yeah, of course he fucking lost, dude. It was his second year. He was just a kid taking over the team. And he lost to one of the greatest teams ever. That's not a failure. The success is he lit up one of the greatest teams of all time, and they had zero answer for him. All Jordan needed was a little support. It was beautiful. Go back and watch that Bulls and Celtics series if you ever just want to see some just entertaining basketball. It was 5-on-1.
And Jerry provided a lot of different obstacles for me, but at the same time, the guy gave me an opportunity to perform at the highest level in terms of basketball. And the whole Bulls organization, they did a great justice for me and for all my teammates. Believe me, I had a lot of teammates over the 14 years that I played for the Bulls, and I respected each and every one of them. I just wanted to win, no matter how you look at it. And then along came Doug Collins, who was caught in the whole mix of this Jerry Krause and Jerry Reinsdorf, and at the same time, he, when I was trying to play in the summertime, he said, well, you're a part of the organization. The organization said you can't play in the summertime. I said, Doug, you hadn't read the fine print in my contract. And my contract said I had the love of the game clause. That means I can play anytime I want, any place I want.
Yep. Love of the game clause. That's Bruce Bowen. And that's Doug.
And Doug looked at me and said, yeah, you're right. And that's how we became, a little closer in terms of Doug Collins and myself. And, Jerry Krause is right there, and Jerry's not here. Obviously, I don't know who invited him. I didn't. But I hope he understands. It goes a long way, and he was a very competitive person. I was a very competitive person.
Did he just say that about Jerry Krause? I think I remember this, but... So, Jerry... Hold on.
Who invited him?
Hold on.
Jerry Krause is right there, and Jerry's not here. Obviously, I don't know who invited him. I didn't, but I hope he understands. It goes a long way, and he was a very competitive person. I was a very competitive person. He said organization wins championships. I said I didn't see organization playing with the flu in Utah. I didn't see him playing with with the bad ankle. Granted, I think organizations put together teams, but at the end of the day, the teams got to go out and play. So in essence, I think the players win the championship, and the organization have something to do with it. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But don't try to put the organization above the players, because at the end of the day, the players still got to go out there and perform. You guys got to pay us, but I still got to go out and play.
Hey, okay. I mean, that's hilarious. But I support this so much because to me, this is the absolute truth. You can put together the best team, the best organization ever. But if your leader is not going to go out there and perform at the highest level and make the sacrifices like MJ did, then it's all for nothing. I'm sorry. Right now, it's sad. My first thought was KD right now because KD is still a Phoenix Sun. And you can put together the best possible team. Get the coach you want, get the players you want, everything. The system that you're asking for, cool. But at the end of the day, if you don't go out there and win it as a player, then it means nothing. So all this, yeah. What Jerry Krause made a mistake on was he should have just credited everyone. He said this starts from the top and it ends at the bottom. You know, he says we got the best team, we got the best leader in Michael Jordan, you know, the best supporting role of the Chicago Bulls. You know, I take pride in my job as a GM. We got a fantastic owner who's allowing all this to happen. He said, as a whole organization, the Chicago Bulls is a fantastic organization. You know, just thank everybody. But what did he go out there and say? Players don't win championships, organizations win. Big, stupid move by Jerry Krause, and I've disliked that man ever since that.
Obviously, you see my kids, you know, Jeffrey, Marcus, Jasmine, I love you guys. I think you guys represent a lot of me, you know, a lot of different personalities. Your mom, you represent them as well. You know, I think that you guys have a heavy burden. I wouldn't want to be you guys if I had to, you know, because of all the expectations that you have to deal with. I mean, look around you. You know, they charge $1,000 tickets for this game, for this whole event. It used to be $200. But I paid it. You know, I had no choice. I had a lot of family, a lot of friends I had to bring in. So thank you, Hall of Fame, for raising ticket price, I guess.
And he did the same thing when it came to the basketball in general. I'm looking at CC, Caitlin Clark right now, and thinking I think she might be doing the same thing for the WNBA right now. I tried to get tickets to go watch them play the Phoenix Mercury, sold out, and people are selling those tickets for almost $200 a pop. So I'm seeing that same effect, and I hope so for the WNBA. I hope they take off like basketball did in the 80s. These two guys, heaviest burden. Because they actually tried to play basketball in college. Not fair. Not fair to live up to MJ's name.
But you guys, I love you guys. You guys just don't know. You got a whole host of people supporting you, family, friends, people that you don't know, relatives coming out of the woodworks, you know, no matter how you look at it. But I think we taught you right, your mom and I, hopefully you can make the right decision when the time comes. My mom, what else can I say? My mom never stays still. You think I'm busy. She's always on the go. And without her, she's a rock. She's unbelievable. Right now, she takes over 2 jobs.
Crazy. Her son is a billionaire, and she still works. But she, serves the community. That's why I love Dolores. It wasn't about the money. She's out there serving the community, giving back.
She's an unbelievable woman. I mean, if I got anybody that's nagging me each and every day, it is her. And she constantly keeps me focused on the good things about life. You know, how people perceive you, how you respect them, you know, what's good for the kids, what's good for you, you know, how you're perceived publicly. Second thought, take a pause and think about, you know, things that you do. And that all came from my parents, you know, it came from my mom. And she's still, at this stage, and I'm 46 years old, she's still parenting me today. And that's the good thing about that lady. I love her to death. I love her to death.
All right, personal little tidbit because it triggered it. I have a wonderful mother as well. My father is where my father and Michael Jordan combined is where I got my work ethic. I will go out, whatever job it is, and I will be on top by the end of the first year. It will happen. That's just because I'm obsessed with it. Like, I have to go out there and be the best. If I'm not the best, then I feel like I'm a failure. That came from my father, and that came from growing up watching Michael Jordan. However, my mother, she added the soft touch that I desperately needed. If not, I would have just been a hard ass and nothing else. Me and my mom, we'd be cooking, like prepping food for dinner, and like we'd cook dinner together. While dinner is cooking, we'd go outside and we would like paint portraits of like, the rose bush or whatever the hell. She introduced the arts to me and like the spiritual element of life. And my father gave me the worth ethic that I needed to survive this world. Excuse me. So between my two parents, I'm the luckiest man. And it sounds like MJ had it too. He had his family making him competitive. So he wanted to be a winner and not fail and not make excuses for failing. Same like me. But he had that soft touch that, would teach him the other side of life, because life isn't just about money or winning or dominating. That's a thing we have to do, so we celebrate it. But life is about the little moments, the beautiful moments, the artsy moments. I'll tell you what, I would have never become a musician if it wasn't for my mom. No way, no how. But I think I've grown up to the point where I sit them both down once in a while, and I thank them both, because I'm like, between the two of you, you created me, and like you created like the literally, I took half of you and half of you, and you guys did it. Like, that's the purpose of having kids with somebody is, take the best of me, take the best of her, and let's hope that passes on to our child. And it really worked with me. So my mom and dad will never watch this video, but I love you, Mom. I love you, Dad. Thank you for everything. Shoot, what a life.
And I'm going to thank a couple people that you guys probably wouldn't even think that I would thank.
Byron Russell.
Isaiah Thomas, Magic Johnson, George Gervin. Now, they say it was a so-called freeze-out in my rookie season. I wouldn't have never guessed, but you guys gave me the motivation to say, you know what? Evidently, I haven't proved enough to these guys. I got to prove to them that I deserve what I've gotten on this level.
Yep.
And no matter what people may have said, if it was a rumor, I never took it as truth. But you guys never froze me out, because I was just happy to be there, no matter how you look at it. And from that point forward, I wanted to prove to you, Magic, Larry, George, everybody, that I deserve to be on this level as much as anybody else. And I hopefully, over the period of my career, I've done that, without a doubt. Even in the Detroit years, we've done that. Pat Riley?
Yeah.
I mean, you and I, we go way back. I still remember in Hawaii.
Oh, this is a good story, guys. This is a good story.
You remember in Hawaii where you and I was coming in, you were, I guess, leaving, and you decided to stay a couple extra days, but you were in my suite, and they came and they told you had to get out of my suite. And you slid a note underneath my door, although you had to move, you did move. You slid a note saying, I enjoyed the competition, congratulations, but we will meet again. And I take the heart in that, because I think, in all honesty, you are just competitive as I am, even from a coaching standpoint. And you've challenged me every time I played the Knicks, the Heat. And I don't think you were with the Lakers, but anytime I played against you, you had Jordan Stoppers on your team. Mm-hmm. Yeah, John Starks, who I loved.
Yeah, it kicked in. Watch this. It takes him a couple seconds.
Yeah, John Starks, who I loved.
Bang, it kicks in. Yeah, John Starks is the guy who guarded. I mean, Jordan lit up Madison Square Garden, and John Starks was the guy guarding him. No disrespect to John Starks. He's a hell of a baller. But something about John Starks he talked a lot of trash with MJ. And MJ would just show up. And yeah, Pat Riley remembers. Pat Riley, other than the Detroit Pistons, the Pat Riley teams would implement that, like, a very similar game to the Jordan rules against Jordan. If he comes into the lane, put him on the ground. That's why those Bulls and Knicks series were so crazy. And then the Bulls and the Miami Heat series were so crazy. It's Pat Riley. Yep, Pippen knows.
He even had my friend Charles Oakley saying we can't go to lunch, we can't go to dinner because Pat doesn't believe in fraternizing between the two of us. And this guy hit me harder than anybody else in the league, and he was my best friend. Patrick Ewing, we had the same agent. We came out the same time, but we couldn't go to lunch.
Yeah.
Why is this? You think I'm going to play against Patrick any different than I play against anybody else? No. No. And then you had your little guy who was on your staff who became the Knicks coach after
Oh, no,
you.
Jeff Van Gundy.
Jeff Van Gundy? He said, I conned the players, I befriended them, and then I attacked
Look at
them
him.
on the
Look at
basket.
him. I'm sorry. Look at him. This is one of my favorite parts of this whole speech is just looking at Pat Riley's reactions. Because all of this was true. Jordan is not saying one lie here. This all happened.
He said, I conned the players, I befriended them, and then I attacked them on the basketball court. Where did that come from? I just so happen to be a friendly guy. I get along with everybody, but at the same time, when the light comes on, I'm as competitive as anybody you know. You know, so you guys, I must say thank you very much for giving me that motivation that I desperately needed.
I don't know if you guys have noticed by now. I'm sorry for laughing so much. Like, this is like hitting me at the core of my basketball love. And you guys know, like, I'm not here for like current news or any of that kind of stuff. Like, I'm not a real like YouTube guy. Like, I'm just enjoying basketball. I love basketball. This hits me at the core right here watching this with you guys. Jordan at this point, like, if you haven't noticed, he's not saying thank you to people who like helped him. Like, actually helped him. Like, hey, MJ, I'm going to show you like finance. Hey, MJ, let me get you your first car and like, you know, find you a place to live. No, he's thanking everybody for fueling the fire. As he says, adding an extra log to the fire that became the monster of Michael Jordan that we know. Like, and a lot of these things are by insults, by those things that we watched, the Jordan revenge videos. These are these stories that he's remembering right now, like that brought him to an extra level to become the GOAT that we know. I've never seen a Hall of Fame speech like this before and since.
Phil Jackson is, to me, he's a professional Dean Smith. You know, he challenged me mentally, not just physically. You know, he understood the game, along with Tex Winter. They taught me a lot about the basketball game. Tex being the specialist. You know, I could never please Tex. And I love Tex. Tex is not here, but, you know, I know he's here in spirit.
Yeah, Tex is a genius.
He is. I can remember a game coming off the basketball court, and we were down, I don't know, 5 to 10 points, and I go off about 25 points, and we come back and win the game. And we're walking off the floor, and Tex look at me and says, you know, there's no I in team. I say, Tex, it's not an I in team, but it's I in win.
Yep.
I think he got my message. I'd do anything to win. You know, if that means we play team format, we win.
Yeah.
If that means I have to do whatever I have to do, we're going to win, no matter how you look at it.
And that's the Jordan standard that a lot of people don't understand these days, is that, yes, you play that team ball for 3 quarters. And if that's not going to get the job done, you have to take over. That was the burden that Michael Jordan had. Not many people have been able to live up to that. But that's why he's the GOAT for all of us, because if the team was playing well, hey, man, Jordan only had to go out there and score 25 points. But when that didn't happen, MJ would go out and score 41 points, 45 points, 60, you know, like in the 60s sometimes. He would do whatever it took to win. That's why you always felt comfortable knowing Michael Jordan was on the floor. He was going to get it done one way or another. You might call it selfish. I say that's a weak stance. That's a weak stance to call it selfish, because if the team was capable of doing it without him, he was more than happy of letting it just be team ball. But in the end of the day, his job was to win the game, and he would go out and do that at any cost.
And then you had all your media naysayers. Oh, scoring champion can't win an NBA title.
Yep.
Or, you know, you're not as good as Magic Johnson. You're not as good as Larry Bird. You're good, but you're not as good as those guys. You know, I had to listen to all this, and that put so much wood on that
Wood on the fire.
that it kept me each and every day trying to get better as a basketball player. Now, I'm not saying they were wrong. I may have looked at them from a different perspective, you know, but at the same time, as a basketball player, I'm trying to become the best that I can, you know, and for someone like me who achieved a lot in over the time of my career, you look for any kind of messages that people may say or do to get you motivated to play the game of basketball at the highest level, because that is when I feel like I excel at my best. And my last example of that, and the last one that you guys probably have seen, I hate to do it to him, but
Oh, he's doing the Byron Russell.
he's such a nice guy. And when I first met Byron Russell, John and Carl should remember this. I was in Chicago in 1994. I was working out for baseball. They came down for a workout and shoot around. I came over to say hello. And at this time, I had no thoughts of coming back and playing the game of basketball. And Byron Russell came over to me and said, "You know what, man, why'd you quit? Why'd you quit? You know I can guard you. If I ever see you in a pair of shorts, You remember this, John?"
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so when I did decide to come back in 1995, and then we played Utah in '96, I'm at the center circle, and Byron Russell sitting next to me, and I look over to Brian. I said, "You remember this conversation you made in 1994 about I think I can guard you, I can shut you down, I would love to play against you. Well, you about to get your chance."
Oh my God.
And believe me, ever since that day, he got his chance. I don't know how succeeding he was, but I think he had his chance, and believe me, I relished on that point. And from this day forward, if I ever see him in shorts, I'm coming at him.
Oh my God. I love that line.
I know you guys got to go. I know I've been up here a lot longer than I told my friends I was going to be up here. I cried. I was supposed to get up here and say thank you and walk off, and I didn't even do that. So I appreciate it. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
This is the ultimate Hall of Fame speech. Like, this is it.
As I close, the game of basketball has been everything to me. My refuge, my place I've always gone when I needed to find comfort and peace. It's been a source of intense pain and a source of most intense feelings of joy and satisfaction, and one that no one can even imagine. It's been a relationship that has evolved over time and has given me the greatest respect and love for the game. It's provided me with a platform to share my passion with millions in a way I neither expected nor could have imagined in my career. I hope that it's given the millions of people that I've touched the optimism and the desire to achieve their goals through hard work, perseverance, and positive attitude. Although I'm recognized with this tremendous honor of being in the Basketball Hall of Fame, I don't look at this moment as a defining end to my relationship with the game of basketball. It's simply a continuation of something that I started a long time ago. One day you might look up and see me playing the game at 50.
Okay, when he said this, I remember talking to my brother, and I'm like, "Do you think he's coming back?" Like, I really had it in my head. I'm like, I don't care if he comes off the bench and plays 20 minutes and just shoots fadeaways. Like, I want to see MJ come back so bad.
Oh, don't laugh.
Don't laugh.
Don't laugh.
There's Mello.
Never say never. Because limits, like fears, are often just an illusion. Thank you very much. Look forward to it.
You know, when I was a kid, I had a Jordan T-shirt, a black Jordan T-shirt, and it said "Fear is an illusion." So the fact that he brought that back all those years later for his Hall of Fame speech, limits as well as fear are often just an illusion. Like, that's a hell of a line. Man, what a video. I mean, not even what a video. Like, what a speech. I relished that speech. Like, that is a fantastic speech. It just shows that no matter how old he is, he's still the same competitive dude he was when he was playing. because that speech was modeled after that. Like, these are all the guys who burned me, who challenged me, who pushed me, and then y'all know what the results were. Like, that's literally like the point of this Hall of Fame speech. And I found it just right on point for who Michael Jordan is. Like, he is true to himself. He's not pretending to be somebody else. Like, this is who he is, and it worked for him. All right. Anyways, everyone, I'm not even sure this video is going to get out there. I really hope it does. If it does, please leave the video a like. Subscribe to the channel if you want more content like this. And please leave a comment down below. Let's have a conversation about this one. I'm going to be extra active on this one because this one, yeah, this was a huge moment for me watching this retirement speech. All right, everybody, have a wonderful night. Love your loved ones. Be good to your people. Be safe out there and have a fun, peaceful night. I'll see you tomorrow morning on the next one. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate all of you. All right. Peace out.